Welcome to Better Police Reports. I'm Jean Reynolds. Today's topic is 4 types of police reports. Many officers say they like the variety of police work. There's no such thing as a routine shift, and something different is happening every minute. But the variety of the police work can also mean that report writing feels overwhelming at times. It seems like there are so many situations that need reports. How do you keep up with all of them? There are traffic stops, there are domestic disturbances, there are missing persons, and so on. Well, the good news is that there are really only 4 types of reports. When you look at all the kinds of reports across the spectrum, generally they sort into 4 categories. So if you master those 4 types of reports, you can handle just about any report writing task with confidence. But you may be thinking 4 types is still a lot of information to keep straight. Well, there's even better news, because the 4 reports are like a stepladder or a stairway. They build on one another. So your basic report is type 1. You add one more element, you have type 2. You add another element, you have type 3. You add another element, you have type 4. So today we're going to talk about these 4 types of reports. Type 1 is the most basic information-only report. If you remember the old Dragnet TV show, just the facts, ma'am. This would be perhaps a missing persons report, a bicycle theft. You get the basic facts, you write them down, and you're done. Another situation that falls into this category, sometimes a citizen will call an agency to report something unusual, something worrisome. I remember one time I found a medical bag in the woods behind my mother's home. I called the police. Well, no law was broken, nothing happened with it, but the officer still wrote a report about that. When I used to work in the prison system, I used to write incident reports. Sometimes an inmate would do something strange, unusual, worrisome, didn't break any rules. There was no disciplinary hearing, but we still documented those things in a type 1 report. Type 2 adds one more thing. It adds an investigation. So you might look for latent fingerprints, muddy footprints, pry marks, broken glass, splintered wood. The critical thing with a type 2 report is that you must write the results of your investigation even if you didn't find something. I endlessly read reports that read like this. I processed the crime scene. Did you find anything? I looked for latent fingerprints. Did you find any? I looked for the point of entry. Did you find it? There's a Sherlock Holmes story that really makes this point beautifully. In the story, there's been a murder, and the police are excited because they found a bloody thumbprint on the wall, and the thumbprint matches their prime suspect. Well, Sherlock knows that it's a hoax, because right after the murder, he searched the room, looked at that wall, and he knew that there was no bloody thumbprint there. All right, let's go on to type 3. In type 3, the story continues after you get there. If you think about it, you realize in a type 1 and a type 2, it's all over when you get there. You do your interview, you do your investigation if it's a type 2. But in type 3, you're part of the story. For example, you break up a fight. So you're going to explain what you did and why in a separate paragraph. Now, the critical thing in a type 3 is to make sure that every police action is attached to a name. Many times I read reports like this. The suspect was captured. Who captured her? The suspect was transported to the county jail. Who transported him? The evidence was logged into the evidence room. Who logged it? You need to make sure that every sentence starts with a person's name. Later on, if you have to go to court, it's going to be uncomfortable if you don't know who performed some of the actions in your report. Okay, now we go on to type 4. In a type 4 report, you initiate the action. You see something suspicious, and you decide to get involved. You decide it's a police matter. In types 1, 2, and 3, you're probably dispatched to the scene. But in type 4, you're the one who sets the police machinery into motion. Okay, a few examples. You're driving down the highway and you see a car swerve over the central line 4 times in less than a minute. You drive past a building that's been empty for years and you notice a flickering light and a moving shadow. You pass a parked car, there's a couple standing next to it arguing, and you see the man raise his arm as if he's going to strike the woman. You pull into a convenience store, you're going to buy a cup of coffee, and you look inside and you see that there are signs that there might be a robbery in progress. In a type 4 report, the critical thing is establishing probable cause. And what you need to remember here is to be specific. You can't say reckless driving. You have to say 4 times crossing the center line or something similar. You can't say, I had a hunch, I was suspicious, something looked fishy, something was not right. You have to be very descriptive about the reasons why you got involved. All right, let's recap our 4 types of report. 1, just the facts, ma'am. 2, investigation. 3, you're in the story. 4, probable cause. You can download and print a free chart with more information about the 4 types of reports at my website, www.yourpoliceright.com. At my website, you'll also find sample reports that illustrate 1, 2, 3, 4. And reading these reports and associating them with the numbers and the types is a great way to learn these concepts. Everything on my website is free and no registration is required. Again, www.yourpoliceright.com. My book, Criminal Justice Report Writing, has a chapter about the 4 types of reports that you might find useful. The book is available in paperback and ebook editions. It's inexpensive, and you can see a free preview at Amazon.com. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching.